Today on The Young and the Restless, Summer and Daniel get on the same page. Abby makes progress with Jack, and Nikki hopes Victoria won't give up on love. Nate and Victoria walk into her office and find Nikki waiting for them. The mother and daughter are eager to speak to one another. Audra sends him a text saying they need to speak ASAP. After he makes an excuse about Newman Media and exits, Victoria asks her mom about grilling Nate as soon as she left town. Her mother tells her not to overreact. It was inevitable that she would have lunch with him given how long she's known him. Plus, given his role in her daughter's life and the company, it was a good time to do it. Nikki admits that she was impressed by how direct he was about his ambitions, including his desire to have her job. She'll have to watch her back a bit more. Her daughter assures her that she's keeping her eyes on him, but he's a valuable asset and not a threat to anyone. Nikki tells Victoria that he admitted he didn't love her. "Please tell me you're not falling for him," she asks. Victoria says she's too busy for love. Her mom hopes she's not giving up on it. "I have known love, and that's why I know I can live without it," Victoria says. She's not anxious about it or good at it. She may be exceptional at many things, but love is different, and she's lost herself along the way, betraying people and being betrayed. The worst part of all of it is that she trusted men so much she couldn't see who they really were. She doesn't want to carry permanent distrust around, but she won't let love be an issue. Nikki encourages her to put the past aside when the right man comes along. She's sure that she and Nate might be having fun now, but she shouldn't be afraid to look elsewhere. Insisting that she has put the pain of Ashland behind her, Victoria tells her mother she's not running away from love and points out how good the things in her life are going. She finally feels that she's living the life of an adult with Nate. When looking at her future, she is content. She insists that her mom back off when it comes to him. Nate arrives at Audra's suite at the athletic club, and she tells him that this has to be kept in absolute confidence. Her whole future hangs in the balance. She needs his help but can't expose herself unless she knows she can trust him. Audra explains she's inherited a mess thanks to Tucker. It sounds to Nate like she's putting him on the firing line too. He assumes that this has something to do with McCall and Newman Media. Nate soon guesses that Adam has dug up something. She tells him about the singer and the statutory rape and explains that Tucker was gone and out of touch at the time. The PR team kept it quiet until the tour ended. When Tucker returned, he asked it all to be wiped, but some of her emails to him survived and Adam has them now. Audra tells Nate that Tucker wants her to convince Victor that getting rid of Newman Media is the right plan. Otherwise, he will expose her and her career will be over. Nate says that in the big picture, there is likely nothing she can be charged with. However, the professional stain might make her unemployable for a little bit. That sounds like too long for her, and she blames Tucker for everything. Nate says guys like Tucker never take the fall. Frazzled, she starts rambling through how she might be able to talk Victor around, but Nate shoots it down. She needs him to convince Victoria that this makes sense. Nate wonders why Audra's not putting up a fight. This can only make her position in the company weaker. She's working on a plan B but needs to act now to keep Tucker off her back. Can she count on his support? Nate returns to the Newman office and interrupts Victoria and her mom. Nikki exits and Victoria asks him if things are okay with Audra. In her suite at the club, Phyllis assures Summer that she will tell her no more lies. Her daughter wants the truth about Tucker and Carson, explaining that she's been hatching a plan to pull them out of this. Phyllis admits her freedom hinges on Tucker. He's the one who found Carson and is making sure he's around until he's needed. In exchange, he wants her to help make Diane spin out and leave town. She's not sure what that's all about and doesn't care. The thing she cares about is keeping Carson around. Summer gets that and reminds her she was going to pay him to lie but now thinks it's a bad idea. Her mom says Carson really saw Stark try to kill her. She's not sure if he can be trusted, but he's all she's got. To get Tucker off her back, she turned to Adam for dirt, and that ended their relationship. Now she had Carson to herself, so all will be okay. Her daughter points out that she just exchanged Tucker for Adam. How is that okay? Pacing, Summer says this will never end. She asks if Heather knows about any of this. Phyllis assures Summer she will handle Heather, but her daughter questions how she can trust anything she's said since she came back from the dead. It's like she hasn't changed at all. Standing up, Phyllis tells her it kills her that she doubts every single thing that comes out of her mouth. "Don't talk to me about pain," Summer complains, reminding her of all she's done to her life. That's all on her. Phyllis finds this harsh and doesn't want to deal with it. Summer claims she's tried to accept her for who she is and forgive her for the damage she's caused, but this is what honesty looks like. The way out is not colluding with Tucker and Adam. She doesn't think her mom knows how to exist without all of this drama in her life. She's without ethics and shame, and Summer can see that will never change. She walks out. Alone, Phyllis makes a call, telling someone that it is urgent and everything is about to change. In the bar, Tucker tries to assure Daniel that there is nothing between him and Phyllis. They share a mutual distrust of Diane. That's all. He thinks she's trying to move on with her life, and he admires that. Why doesn't Daniel? He's disappointed that he doesn't love and trust his mother. Daniel tells him to stay away from his mother and walks away. Next, Daniel meets with Summer, who tells him that there is no getting through to their mom. She's incapable of listening to anyone's perspective. He thinks it would be for the best if Phyllis spent time in prison rather than her. As bad as she feels saying it, his sister agrees. Their mom needs to pay and they can't suffer anymore for what she's done. Audra goes down to the bar and Tucker apologizes for earlier. None of this is her fault. He let his frustrations get the better of him, and he's sorry he took them out on her. She's handling things, but they are far from over. That's not what he wanted to hear. Abby surprises Jack when she stops by the Jabot office. She's happy to hear that he's been in touch with Zelda and Tracy. She only wishes she could help fix things with her mother. It would be great if they could do that before next week, when Ashley and Tucker will be getting married at the Chancellor estate. Jack is surprised to learn that she and Devin are helping them go through with this farce of a marriage. It's hard for him to accept she can sign off on this after the way McCall treated her mom. Admitting she hated Tucker, Abby thinks that he's changed. This is not something that her uncle can accept. He's sure that Tucker is the driving force behind her mother's vendetta and has convinced her to shred her career and family all at once. I think you're wrong, she says. Sitting, Jack says this marriage is only about love of power, and it breaks his heart to see how his sister is being manipulated. Abby doesn't think Tucker is the problem. It's her mother's irrational hatred of Diane that is driving this, and McCall is just along for the ride. He really loves her and would do anything for her. Looking out the window, Jack can only imagine what his father would say. Abby thinks he can't see how much her mom has gone off the deep end because of Diane. He's been rubbing it in her face, and that's the source of this. She's trying to be Switzerland and fix the sibling bond, but that won't be easy if he brings his wife to the wedding. As much as he wishes he could fix this, Jack can't. If Ashley can't accept Diane, there can be no peace. Abby says that John would want them to get together and talk this out. He sighs. Abby begs for one last try since there is so much on the line. Jack gives in and tells her to text her mom. Thrilled, she hugs him and sends Ashley a text. Phyllis joins Christine and Heather at Crimson Lights and declares that she is ready to make a deal. She agrees to plead guilty to avoid a trial and protect her daughter.